Greetings and salutations. Our escape plan continues and find love or die trying. And I am loving this jazzy little music, by the way. It's quite funky. Just we need a little jig to it. And Ali is not happy about us saying our previous dates were all disasters. So we've got a plan to use Yui. Well, it's just something about her, you know. We'll make it happen. It's the first date since getting all of the girls' memories back. We went for a walk out in the woods, the same date we had when we truly met again for the first time. It was a little awkward at first, figuring out how not to give away what we knew on camera, but we figured it out pretty quick. It's so nice to see you again, Silverain. Feel the same way, Yui. After all, this time it's got to be fate, hasn't it? Must be. To be honest, I feel like things are getting in a lot over my head. The show, meeting you again, everything, it's just moving so fast. Sometimes I feel like everything's just moving too fast for me to keep up. But with you, everything's alright. Like I know it's going to be okay. Would it be okay if we just spent today this way? She leaned in closer and put her arms around me. I wouldn't have it any other way, Yui. Wait a minute, what about getting the master key? Ah, I can tell from your face what you're thinking about. Don't worry, I've got that covered. Bun bun, bun bun. Bun bun darted out of a nearby bush and ran to Yuri's side. Who's a good boy? You're a good boy. She picked him up and hugged him tight. It was impossible not to smile. Almost forgot. Bun bun. Bun. Hunt! Bun 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 leapt out of her arms and dashed towards the mansion. With that out of the way, how about we walk for a little bit longer? Just what happened? She reached for my hand and held it tight. I'd like that. We walked and talked for hours, and when we took breaks we lay next to each other on the grass talking about anything and everything. You was a lovely girl. Times I remembered how dire the situation we're in and I couldn't help but freeze up. But with you I'm never afraid to face those fears. She makes me braver just with a smile. And even when she couldn't ask directly what was on my mind, she found ways to comfort me despite that. In turn, to make her smile made me feel lighter than air. Life with her would be wonderful. I've got to make sure I get us all out of here safe. Silverain? Yeah. I love you, Silverain. Hope you can spend another day together just like this soon. I'd like that. Me too, Yui. We walked back together to we walked back to the mansion together, hand in hand, and it went our separate ways. Cat. Oh, Silverain, you would not believe what happened to me today. What happened, Cat? I got attacked by some kind of forest monster. It was at least 10 feet tall, had monstrous teeth, and there was at least 5 of them. It took everything I had not to laugh. Luckily, I managed to fight them off without any permanent injury. I made sure that Ford deleted the footage. That shit was both embarrassing and traumatic. That's good to know. This is the worst run yet. What do you mean by that? Oh, nothing. I've just had a long day. I'll bet. You get some rest while you have the chance. 5 forest beasts is nothing to sniff at. You're making fun of me, aren't you? Not at all, Cat. Forest beasts affect 1 in 10 people. It could happen to you. Right. I'll see you later, Silverain. Good night, Silverain. Very nice with the forest beasts. Again, jumping in to do another save. I am paranoid here with the saving. Yui, mission successful. I can't believe that worked. How did you train your pet bunny to do all that? It's all thanks to our special training last night. I may have made a few contracts for a few devils from the forest, but... I'm sorry, what? I'm half kidding. Don't worry about it. Which half? Are the keys ready to use? Not yet, which sucks. It's got to take a little while longer for the makeshift flat plaster to set. Where'd you get that plaster from, by the way? Believe me, knowing more about we got it will not make you any happier as a person. I'm cool without knowing. Anyway, the keys will probably be usable by tomorrow morning. You have to have your next date by then. We'll test them out as soon as it's night tomorrow. Sounds good? Sounds good to me. Awesome, let's go team. How about you let the girls know, Silverain? Force disabled the audio recordings at the house at night, so we should be able to get a good talk back up there. I wouldn't risk it, honestly. I'll let them know. Alright, we go back up to the mansion. Where are they? Ah, I can hear some sounds coming from the kitchen. I'll make my way over. Hey Violet, how are you? Goodness, apologies Silverain, I didn't see you there. You seem pretty deep in thought. What's on your mind? Besides the, say, hundreds of different versions of memories of the same week? I'm worried for the people back home. Yui has her brothers to worry about, as she tries not to burden anyone with that feeling. Everyone has family out there, and who knows what happened to them in the last, well, however long we've been trapped here. I have never gotten along with my parents, but they must be so worried sick. I'm sure they're doing fine, Violet. And they're going to be so happy to see you again. You're right, Silverain. Though there's no way you could know that for sure, could you? I guess so, but we've got to believe, right? I suppose you're right once again, Silverain. When we finally escape this dreadful place, I'm going to hold them so tight. It's kind of funny. What is it, Violet? I told you I had a twin sister, right? Yeah, you did. Her name was Viola? That would be her. She was always my parents' favourite. You know, the type came first in just about everything while I did not. Even so, we got along just fine. I was proud to call her my sister. Then there was the accident. She saw the car before I did, and she moved to protect me before I could. And in the end, she was hit before I was. She died for it. I'm so sorry, Violet. And before then, I had no problem being second place to her. But for her sake, just that one time, I wish I'd come in first. I'm oversharing, aren't I? I apologise, it's been a... It's okay, Violet. Just say what you're feeling. You're kind, Silverain. It's something I adore about you, you know? After Viola died, I did my best to live up to the very standard she set for my parents. You'll probably guess how well that went. I wasn't as good as running the business, or appearing prim and proper, or even finding things like a partner. It was a little embarrassing, really, that whole reason why I came here. My parents saw an ad for the show and thought it might help me. Perhaps they just wanted to kick me out of the house to make more room for my new baby brother. I couldn't resist the chance for them to support me for once. At times it feels like I can't do anything right, and look how the show is developed. It's nightmare in every regard. Violet. Yes. I held her in my arms tightly. You're an incredible woman, and believe me, there's nothing wrong with... Sorry, nothing you cannot do. I've seen you put the fear of God into the Brothers 5 and make delicious meals that some people will probably kill for. Even if it's a nightmare, this is one we're going to get out together, and we won't be able to do it without you. You are too kind. Thank you, and I appreciate it. But enough about me. Have you remembered anything about why you came here? Unfortunately, I haven't. I was hoping the Master Key with Pelford would help with that. I hope so for your sake. In the event it does not provide any answers, my previous offer about finding you help outside of here to get your memories back stands. Thanks, Violet. I really appreciate that. It's the least I could do. I still fancy you quite a bit, you know. I know it's not the time or place, but maybe when we get out of here, perhaps you'll join me for, say, a lovely cruise around what's left of our world. I'm looking forward to that day. As am I. We talked for a few moments longer before retiring for the night. For once I lay in the bed not worrying about being killed. For once I was excited what tomorrow would bring. It's only up from here. Wait. Silverain! Ali, what you... Never mind that, you've got to come down to the lab. What is it? We found something, and I know you want to see it. She reached for my hand and pulled me as we ran. The other girls were already there, crowded around the table with folders piled on top of it. What's going on? I was just looking around the lab when I stumbled across these. There are files. I didn't read anyone's but my own, but I have to warn you. Caution was the last thing on all our minds. Most of us scrambled to find our own files, except for you, who'd already holding hers, and Ali. Weird, there's no file for me here. I double checked, there's nothing for me. Guess I'm not getting any answers today. Ali slowly walked to the pile and found around and opened it in one fluid motion. Interesting. What is it? Ali Major, sent to the island for being suspected of committing treason against the government. Selected for the experimental show fitting the sporty girl archetype. We need one of those. Huh. It's good to know this whole get-up was a good idea. Did you know I actually fucking hate sports? I've never seen Ali look so angry. They got all the fake information I gave. That sounds about right. What is it? They've been talking about extremely detailed notes on me for every single run of the show for the past 2 years. So they've been in here 2 years. What I've done, what I've said in private, whatever. They've got notes down here on how, when I brush my teeth, how I reacted differently when they change the show or tell me different things, or nothing but lab rats to them. It's true, it's my fault. So essentially they're doing this as a giant psychological experiment. That gives us an answer of why there's so many repeats of the show. The only thing they haven't really done is done one on my character, because he was never supposed to really be in the show, was he? He's just going to be tossed in there. Or, more sinisterly, the reason my file's not there is it's currently being updated. But we'll have to see next time.